Morning, children. Welcome to the online classes for the 7th period of 8th standard. So, in this class, we are going to study the point related to the ancient civilization of India. In the last classes, we have discussed the point related to the ancient civilization of India. In these, we have studied some few topics related to the ancient period. We have studied about the Vedic age. We have studied about the four Vedas. And after that, we have started the point related to the Rig Veda. So in the Rig Veda period, we have studied the point related to the 1028 suktas. It means the praise and the songs followed in this ancient the Rig Veda period. And there we have seen the 10 mandalas. They 10 groups were found in this period. So these 10 mandalas are considered to be the groups of people belongs to this particular area. Now, the next point we are going to study in this topic related to the social system. How was the social system in the period of Rig Veda period? So, at the time of the entry toward the ancient period, there were only the three types of communities we are going to see in the this Rig Veda period. When the Rig Veda period came, that time we are only finding the three types of categories. One is the Aryans, or we are called as the aristocracy, and the priestly class, high class people, and the common people. These are the 3 points we have seen in the earlier period. At the time of when we are going to see the Rig Veda period starts. So, the next point we are going to see these pictures we are going to find it was not divided into the caste system. That time we are not finding there was a caste system in the this ancient of the Rig Veda period. But later the picture shows regarding the social system what they we are going to see the Purusha Sukta that appears in the 10 mandalas. Groups we have seen in these 10 mandalas we are finding the division, that is the Purusha Sukta, that shows that the Rig Veda probably was came in the period of 1000 BCE. It was appeared in the period of 1000 BCE, and in this 1000 BCE we are going to see there was a new point arises, that is called as the Adi Purusha, and this Adi Purusha is to be considered as the God, and this God has divided into the 4 categories according to his division of the body. So, the first body, it means the mouth of the Adi Purusha is to be called as the Brahmanas, and the soldiers, these soldiers are going to be called as the Kshatriyas, and the thighs are going to be called as the Vaishyas, and last, the feet of the Adi Purusha is to be called as the Shudra. It means the caste system was divided into 4 groups. At the time of when Adi Purusha came as the God. So there we are finding the first one is the Brahmanas, second one Kshatriyas, third one Vaishyas, and the fourth one we are going to call as the Shudras. But earlier in the period of Adi Purusha, there we are not going to see the system was divided according to the religion, according to the caste, but it was described that Brahmins are coming from the mouth of Adi Purusha, Kshatriyas are coming from the shoulders of the Adi and Shudras are coming from the feet of the God. So Adi Purusha is the God. And these are the four divisions made in the body of the God that we are going to see in the Rigveda period. But when these Adi Purusha came, there we are not finding any kind of Varna system in the ancient period. There was no Varna system. We are going to see the history of ancient India. But later we are going to see, according to the mythological background, there was a birth of caste system of developed in the Vedas. So that time we are going to see these Vedas have described the caste in the Varna system. And these Vedas which have shown the caste system as the Varna system. Varna means according to their work or their status, we are going to see the division of caste. But earlier we are going to see only the three categories were made by the Varna system. So, which are the three categories we are going to see? First one, we know that the Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. These are the important categories we are going to see in the early Varna system. But later we are going to see one of the caste was added to the Varna system, that is Shudra, who are the main workers for the all three categories. They are doing work under the three categories are to be considered as the Shudra. And these Shudras are belongs to the which category? These Shudras are belongs to the tribal category. These Shudras belongs to the tribal category. It means these people are living in the forest. They don't have any kind of knowledge. They only doing the work in the agriculture field or the forest. So that according to the ritual of the Hindu system, we are finding only three categories. Later adding of the Shudra, those belong to the tribal categories. So these properties are divided according to the position of the caste. So, even the Brahmins are the guiders for the Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas were the ruler for the kingdom, and the Vaishyas were the businessmen in this kingdom, and Shudras were the workers for the all three kingdoms. And according to this one, the property was divided into three groups. There is no property belongs to the Shudras. Now, the fourth one, Shudra, there we are going to see the divisions of the people belong to the tribal area. Even the tribal side, we are finding the categories. The people named called as the Dasus, Panis, and the people that time are going to call as the Dasas. It means the group division we are going to see the tribal area. But the Dasas from this Shudra Varna, Aryans, difference that local tribals are called as the Dasa and the Dasu. The Aryans who arrived toward the India in the Sindh region, who have defeated the tribal people, those people are considered as the Dasas and Dasus. That are considered the defeaters of the Aryans. But later we are going to see the word was given to these people as the slaves under the three categories. So, even the slaves means the gulam. So, these dasas and the dasas are considered as the slaves under these three categories. So, according to this, we are going to see the social system followed in the Rigveda period, and the wealth belongs to the accumulation made by the king in this period. That wealth was divided into three groups after the winning of any kind of battles in this period. So, when you are going to win any kind of battle, then they getting the wealth. That time, what these people are doing, they are going to divide among the three groups. That we are going to see. There was unequal changes we are going to see resulted in the growth of social administration was there were no equal distribution we are going to see in the three categories, and they are not giving any kind of wealth toward the Shudra after winning of any wars. And the first three Varnas have given the right over to the expansion of the more agriculture and the lands. The Shudras were forced to work for the first three Varnas. It was told that there was a duty to work in the agriculture field, and the patriarchal family were the main social unit we are going to see in the period of social systems followed in the Rigveda period. So next we are going to see the system followed in the Rigveda period was economic system. How was the economic system? We are going to see in this period. So the next point we are going to study is the economic system of the Rigveda period. So economic system means how are the economic force we are finding in the period of the Rigveda period. Basically, here we are going to see the animal husbandry is followed by these people belong to the Rigveda period. According to the Rigveda, conquerors, the well-named cows, horses, camels, slaves, and still cultivated land are considered as the part of wealth. So they were the main point we are going to see is the animals which are belong to their house are called as the wealth. Otherwise, what is the property coming from the land or the agriculture, that only the considered as the wealth in this period. And there are details we are going to see of the emergence of the agriculture as a profession. The people belong to the ancient also, they have started to follow the agriculture, and anyone could have often land, could have own it. The importance of the cattle increased as they were used for the tilling. Now agriculture became an important part in this period, and this agriculture itself has maintained the development of the utilization of the animals for the purpose of the development of these crops or the expansion of the crop. And they are going to use these animals for the tilling purpose and to lift the water and to move the crops for the expansion of the agriculture in their land. They are also useful for the giving the milk and the meat for the common people. On the whole, there was a need of own cattle herds, grave mower, which is the village or the common people belong to the village, meadow. They are going to came into the existence as a making of grassland grazing, or the food given for these animals was the grassland grazing in this period. So you know that this period is called as with this the village common meadows. It means grassland for grazing came into the existence. So the open land was there for the purpose of to get the food for the animals in this ancient time. They were not aware of the uses of the iron in this period, but they were using the nature or the nature and the process plants as the charcoal to melt the metal. You know the charcoal that was used for the getting the heat of metal, and the brass and the alloy was called as the ayas. Though there was a reference of pots, there is no reference to the pottery or the profession. Situational references appear in the Rigveda on the crafts like weaving, carpentry, and other professional skills were followed in this period. The word Pani is referred to be in the Rigveda period. Now present also we are going to call as the Vani. That first we are finding the point related to agriculture, that is Vani. It was used in the Rigveda period, and this was used for the local rich tribes. Local rich tribes, they live well doing agriculture in this period. In Rigveda, the cultival land is called as the Kshetra, which is the fertility land. That land is going to be called as the Kshetra. And this Kshetra and the cultivation is called to be called as the Krushi. In the Krushi, today also we are going to use this word, that is Krushi. This cultivation land is to be called as the Krushi land, and belonging to the Aligram of Swat Valley has been formed, and it belongs to the 11th century. So this Krushi land we are going to see toward the Swat Valley, and that was formed in the period of the 11th century BC. There is the references we are going to see related to the history of this valley. The stone pulling the wood stuff to be lift water from a well. To bring the water from the well, they are going to use the stones, making the cups, and these cups are lifting the water for the purpose of agriculture development that we are going to see. And auctions were used to pull the cart and the plows. So even the auctions were used for the pulling of the cart and the making the plowing the agriculture land. They were used to pull the water by using rope and pulling, and they lifted the water was flowed into the broader canal. That we are going to see in the Rigveda trade. It makes the economic development. With the help of this technology, the agriculture that was limited to areas closer to the nearby the rivers. All these agricultural developments we are finding in this period, which are nearby the rivers, because they are finding the water facility for the irrigational purposes. Now, there was the expansion of the agriculture we are going to see by using the underground water also toward the agriculture land. There are some other references we are going to see. The preservation of seeds in the underground and also harvested grains that we are going to call as the Yava is identified as the baby crop. Yava is called as the baby crop, and these crops are going to be kept in the underground storage. That type of system was followed in the period of Rigveda time. So these are the points related to the system followed for the development of economic system in the Rigveda period. So next point we are going to take related to the Rigveda period is the political system. So next point is the political system followed in the Rigveda period. So a reference to be going to be get related to the political development in this period was to the from the gramas. The villages we are finding in the early period. This appears in the Rigveda period. So the development of villages we are going to find in the period of this Rigveda. That is development of villages. That time these are going to be called as the gramas. These gramas are developed in the Rigveda period, and these the tribes are living in these villages of the gramas. Rajan or the Raja was the head of these tribes. The person belongs to the leader for this is going to be called as the Rajan of the Raja belongs to the tribe category. So they are going to be considered the leader for this tribal community, and the name of the rajas were related to their specific tribes. According to the Dasos or the Panis, according to their tribal group, they are going to be named the rajas. Some tribes may now have more than one raja. So some tribal groups they are going to see one or two rajas to be considered in some tribal group. There are different types of tribal groups, dasas, panis. So in the panis we may be going to find the one, but in the dasa we may be going to find the two. Like this way, according to their interest, they are going to be making the leader one or two in this tribal groups. The position of the Raja was very hereditary, and Trukshi of Kuru clan and Sudasa of Bharata clan are the examples for this tribal community leaders. One of the point is Trukshi of Kuru clan, Trukshi of the Kuru group and Bharata clan of the this Sudas of the Bharata group, we are going to be called as these are the leaders we are going to see in the tribal area. That was the political system examples we are going to see in this history. In the other political activities, invention and the suppression of the non-Aryan tribes like Dasus and the Pandis by the Aryans, one of the major part Rigveda consider Dasu and the Pandis as inhumane. Dasu and the Pandis are considered as they are not having the humanity. They don't have the humanity. These people are politically considered as the inhumane people, and they are called as the alliance and killable persons. There are references to the conflict between the Aryans and the non-Aryans in this Rigveda period. So there was fighting we are going to see. According to the evidence presented by history, the conflict between the Aryans and the non-Aryans in this period. The word Sabha and the Samitis were also used to denote the assemblies for the common people in this period around the king. So in front of the king, they were going to put the meeting. That meeting itself is going to be called as the Sabha, or we can call it the Samiti. So even present also we are using this type of words in our daily life. The people who ruled over the common people are to be called as the Kshatriyas, and the one who fight for the soldiers was called as the Yodha. And the word Kshatriya was not in use in this period, but king and the rich had the power to concentrate in them, and they were gifting cows, horses, gold, and the cultivation tools to the priestly classes. Who these things were giving the gifts to the priestly, other high class people belong to this period according to their points. So they are giving as like the cows, horses, and the gold towards the priestly people. Now, the inventions in the country used to take place of by eating the cattle. Those who were successful in the inventions increased their wealth and could also get the prisoners. So that time, what is going to be in this Rigveda period is to be considered as a high wealth or some invented many, and he is going to give and the wealth of this person was increased according to his inventions, and they also getting the prisoners under his control. So this is the part of political system followed in the period of the ancient civilization of India. The last point we are going to be studying in this topic is related to the religious systems followed in the Rigveda period. Religious system followed in the Rigveda period. You know the Yagnas were the epicenter of the religious practices during the period of this Rigveda, and Yagna is going to be called as the Yagna is the animal sacrifice were done to appear against or appears toward the God, and the yagnas were organized primarily for tourism to get the good type of rains, because that time the people are needed rains for the development of agriculture, and one they are doing the yagna for the purpose of the harvesting way, for the purpose of harvest and seek the help of God to defeat their enemies like the souls. So that was the main thing they are followed in this period, at the period of Rigveda period. Now, the priest who conducted the yagna was called as the Hothas. The priest belongs to this period who is going to conduct the yagna. That person is going to be called as the Hothas. And during yagnas, the reciting of slokas or telling the slokas and the consumption of soma, that is a drink used in this period, was done, and there was no ideal worship in the period of Aryan religion. There were no ideal worship present in the Aryan religion, and they were also not using any kind of animals or women or the any symbols related to the Aryan community in the period of the Rigveda period. So remaining part I will continue in the next part. So related to the religious system of the ancient of the Rigveda period. Thank you.